Hello and welcome back to the Money Bear podcast. This week we've got another really fun episode, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about Reddit stories from the internet, specifically to do with money. So, what I did is I literally just searched the Am I the Asshole thread in Reddit, looking for people talking about money in literally any way, shape, or form. So, I have a couple lined up. The titles were juicy. I have not read them yet, so we will see how it goes, but they are the top rated. So they're gonna be interesting. So I'm really excited. You guys enjoyed the episode that we did on Reddit stories the last time we did it. So that is why we were going to do it again. So before we do, I have some fun and exciting news. I got a kitten. I can't remember if I told you guys that on the last episodes or not, but he's in here right now. I don't know where though. He might pop up on screen at some point for those of you who are watching the podcast rather than listening. But his name is Cash. He's the best. I love him. He's so cute. I've never owned a cat before, and I will say it's quite a bit different. And I've also never even owned like a puppy. I've never owned a baby anything. Now I am the proud mom of a little baby cat. He is, as of November 17th, when I'm recording this, he is, I want to say 15, 16 weeks almost. He was born in July. He's running around right now. Logan is, of course, obsessed with him. Oh, wait, here, I got him. Let me show you guys. Come here, Cash. Hi. Okay, for those of you who are watching, you can now meet Cash. This is my squishy little baby. Who he's on. Please put me down. I'm trying to explore. I'm trying to fuck shit up. I need to go make some moves. I don't know if you guys can hear him purring. Oh my God, I love him so much. I never knew I could love a cat this much. Oh, thank you for the kisses. Thank you. I love how they always smell your mouth too. Here, see if you want to eat your lunch. But anyway, so that's what's been going on in my life. I got a cat. I am a crazy lady, but I'm so happy. I absolutely love having more animals in the house. Logan is adjusting, okay? So as of now, they have cuddled a few times. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen it in the stories. Logan is obsessed with him, and I will actually very much be looking forward to the day where she's no longer as obsessed with him as she currently is, just because I almost think she thinks that Cash is her baby. Like, she follows him around everywhere. She's always like super alert and super intense about him. So eventually it will be really nice if she just chills the fuck out. But I keep reminding myself it's only been a week. I've had him for a week. She's doing pretty good considering she's never tried to bite him. She does try to put her paw on him a lot just because I think honestly, I don't know what she's doing. She's just like trying to put her paw on him, I think to protect him, which is sweet. But also I'm like, sweetheart, Cash is 3.5 pounds. We can't do that. We can't do that. So she's constantly looking at me like, do you still love me? Do you? Why did you get a replacement? And I'm just trying to convince her, like, no, I love you so much. You are my squishy goddess. You are my nipple queen. That will never change. And just because I have a new animal doesn't mean I love you any less. I just have more animals to love, more love to spread around. So that's what's going on in my life. I will say, since this is a money podcast, it was expensive getting a cat. The adoption fee was like the least expensive part. I think that was $65. And then I went to PetSmart literally with him in tow, and I got all the supplies that I needed, like a litter box, food, toys, litter, what else? Just like literally everything like that you need for a cat. And I was like, I don't even know what I need for a cat. I didn't expect them to give them to me the same day. And so I think I spent like $260 there. And then I had to order some stuff on Amazon, which was like another $200. I got a really cool, this is optional, but I got a cool litter box that looks like a plant. So I like that a lot. He likes it a lot too because it's this level of privacy. That was like $150. What else? What else have I bought you, Cash? Oh, the vet bill was $200. His stool sample was, I want to say another like $50 or something along those lines. So we're in it almost $1,000 now. So Cash's name is living up to the expenses. One of my followers / friends also sent me a message to say that Cash, she loves the name because her grandma actually named her cat Dinero, which is a Spanish word for money. And she said the reason she did that is because you're like manifesting more money into your life by saying it all of the time. So by me naming him Cash, this wasn't even on purpose. I'm just going to keep manifesting cash in my life. But he's the best. I love him so much. I'm so happy. I've just been really happy since getting back to my parents' place. I've set up shop in my childhood bedroom. So if you're watching this, you'll see like I got a little divider so you guys don't always see my bed in the background. But I'll be here until I figure out when I'm going to move. So I've got some stuff in the business that I really want to focus on, and I just don't feel ready to make a cross-country move yet. So I might be here for one more winter, which is Central Illinois. For those of you who don't know, the winters suck, but luckily I work from home, so it's really not a huge deal. So I'll keep you guys posted on how my plans evolve. It is an ever-changing situation. Cash will, I'm sure, be coming in and out of this podcast, so you're welcome in advance. But anyway, we're going to dive right in. We're going to skip the money tips this week because it's a Reddit episode and there's going to be tons of money tips within it. But before we do, friendly reminder that if you have not downloaded your Get Your Money guide yet, you got to do that. We're gonna have to hop on that train because there is so much free information in there. If you're looking for a spending plan, if you're looking for ways to pay off your debt, if you are looking for ways to start investing, if you're looking for videos and resources on how I did everything that I did in my own personal finance journey, it is all in the Get Your Money Right guide. So go grab it. The link is in the show notes. If you're listening, it's at thelazyinvestorscourse.com/guide. I should probably make a shorter link, huh? That's probably what I should do. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so first one up, we've got the title. Am I the asshole for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my girlfriend? I recently won a fuck you amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. It makes me feel funny even typing it. It's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She's an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 6 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. I was in a low place. I was in a low place in my life and I fucked up. She was incredible. She was in incredible pain, but like a fucking saint, she allowed me to still see our kids, who mean the world to me, allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible, despite the fact that I know she was hurting. She is still close with my parents. She is respectful to me, although she refuses to talk to my girlfriend. She was actually the first person I phoned after my mom and pops found out I won the lottery. She was pleased for me and joked that I could take the kids on a world round trip, and that was that. Nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount. I still love her. She's the mother of my babies, and I feel like this is some small, tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete fuck up. She deserves to know that I care despite my mistakes, and she also works a shitty job in the public library where she gets paid peanuts. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way, give our kids a better life between us. I haven't had success with my ex yet, but I have with my parents who strongly agree, and my lawyer, who was very surprised but on board. Long story short, when I told my girlfriend, she was livid, screaming that I was disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex-wife. I'm not in love with her. We've both grown apart, but of course I still love her for being an excellent co-parenting partner and mother to my kids. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me, and to be honest, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over the threats. I don't plan on changing my plans, but am I the asshole? Oh my gosh, I don't think he's an asshole at all. Like, the fact that you want to give the mother of your children money to say, hey, thanks for first being the mother of my children and being an awesome co-parent, but also here's a little bit of like reparations for the fact that like I totally messed up our life and cheated on you and I'm sorry. Like, he's not saying how much he plans on giving her, but if I was in his situation as well, I would also want to give my ex a bunch of money to say, 1, I'm sorry. 2, I still want to take care of you. 3, I appreciate everything that you do for our children. And 4, like, I love you. I care about you. I want to take care of you. So I don't think this guy is the asshole in this situation. And I think that the girlfriend has no right to be livid. The girlfriend doesn't really have a say in their finances. She's still a girlfriend. It sounds like he's got one foot in the door and one foot out, or one foot in and one foot out. And so to me, the fact that she is angry about that is really strange because 1, it's his money. They're not in a like a legally binding relationship. Number 2, she was the other woman. Number 3, it's the mother of his children. Like, why wouldn't you want the mother of your husband's, your partner's, your boyfriend's children to benefit from that? Like he said, it's some tiny way I can show her that I'm not a total fuck up. It's also a tiny way that he can say thank you. It's actually a very big way. And like the fact that she can pursue her hobbies means she's probably going to be a happier person and she's going to be able to take care of her kids even better and be a better co-parent. So in literally every way, I can't see why this would be an issue. So let's look at the comments. Safari says that it's got 16.1 thousand upvotes. Not the asshole if you intended for the money to help out her and your kids. If you only intended to give it to her because you love your ex-wife, then you are a bit of an asshole. ESH. I don't know what ESH means. Everyone sucks here. Oh, ESH. Everyone sucks here for making your current girlfriend a plan B. So let me read that again since I was figuring out what ESH means. So he said, not the asshole if you intended the money to help her out and your kids. If you only intended to give it to her because you love your ex-wife, then you're a bit of an asshole and everyone sucks in the situation for making your current girlfriend plan B. The way she reacted was a little over the top, but to be expected since you were giving money to another woman that you used to be married to. Otherwise, you do have kids to provide for, and it's none of her business because you're not married and you don't share the money. Ding, ding, completely agree there. Just a question. Did she know you had a wife when you had an affair with her? Because if she did, then the whole disrespecting her is a load of bullshit because she did the same thing to your ex-wife. Correct. And then somebody else said, edit, wow, this blew up. Edit 2, is this what it's like when people hijack the top comment? Edit 3, thanks for the silver guy. OP responded and he said, she didn't know I was married to my wife. Yes, I agree that, or no, I'm sorry. She did know I was married to my wife. Yes, I agree that her complaining disrespect is bullshit because we both engaged in a very disrespectful behavior towards my ex-wife. The money is being given with a full intention that my ex-wife did me right over these years, and I want to do right by her too. She's the mother of my kids, and she deserves a good life. I also want the kids to grow up to be in 2 wonderful environments instead of dad having a nice place and mom's place being comparatively bereft. I don't think that would be fair. OP, you messed up. You did something wrong, but it seems like you've got your head screwed on right. And like you're owning the fact that you were a shithead to your ex wife. And now you're trying to make up for it to an extent. You can't ever really make up for that, but like a whole lot of money helps. Somebody else said, I don't believe you're the asshole. I've imagined the same thing if I had a windfall. I don't love my ex-wife by any means, but she is the mother of my children. I think that's the key is like, it's the mother of his children. No matter what way you spend it, it's the mother of his children. That person is still in your life. That person is still family. So it's like, why wouldn't you want that? And in the same ways that OP has explained. I'm thankful that we're amicable. I would be careful pursuing anything with the current girlfriend. Like they say, if they cheat with you, they'll cheat on you. Also, if she can't understand why you'd want to give your ex money, that's her problem to deal with. I would hope she wouldn't be so insecure. Wow. Yeah. So generally, the overall vote for this one is not the asshole. And I would have to agree. I don't think he's an asshole. I think he's doing the right thing. And honestly, I would be, yeah, surprised if they continue in a relationship. I'm trying to see if there's any other update. Elle said, this has about 5,000 upvotes. Not the asshole. The fact that you called her first means you still hold her dear in your heart. And the maturity she showed after you destroyed her makes me understand why. Give her the money you were planning to give her double even. But your girlfriend is a witch if she can't understand that you have kids that deserve to partake of their father's wealth. Also, the fact that you haven't married your girlfriend after 6 years shows how you feel about her. Break up with her and enjoy your money with your real story. Wow, that is, yeah. I don't think, let me first say here, I don't think you have to get married to prove your commitment or quality of a relationship. I fully don't think that's necessarily the case. Do I think that if you were certain that the person was the right person, that you really wanted to spend the rest of your life with them, likely, unless you had some huge hangups about marriage as a like political thing, as a, what's the word? Marriage as a institution, then sure, maybe you wouldn't. But like, I do think that if you really love somebody and you want to spend the rest of your life, you would want to get married. There are benefits to it. So even though the institution itself is bullshit, I get it. I don't know. I thought that was a good point. So I'd be curious to hear what you guys think of it as well. So yeah, again, overall, I'm trying to see if anyone voted that he was the asshole, but honestly, I don't see anybody saying that. I have not seen anybody say that he was not the asshole or that he was the asshole. That's what I'm saying. So, anyway, that is that one. I think overall vote, I'm going to have to agree with the community here is he was not the asshole. All right, next one. Now, okay, I'm going to give you guys all a warning here. I have not read this, but it came up in the search when I searched "Am I the asshole?" and "money." So it's always possible that money is not going to be a huge role in this. And I can always, if that ends up happening a lot on the podcast, I can always do better to make sure I'm reading them beforehand. But I kind of like the unveiling of my honest reaction as it's happening. So the reason I'm giving you the disclaimer is because the title, I don't directly see how it's going to be related to money, but it came up and it's got 50,000 upvotes almost. So let's see if this is money related or not. All right. So we now with that disclaimer of being like, I'm not sure how money's going to play into this, but we will see. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my son he deserved his girlfriend breaking up with him? Juicy, juicy. So, my son had a long distance girlfriend recently for about 2 years. She was great, a really nice girl, and we all loved her, welcomed her with open arms. She was flying here constantly to visit him, like a weekend a month, and he didn't even lift a finger to go visit her. I tried talking to him about it several times, and he told me that he should really and told him that he should really start looking into flying over to her instead of expecting her to do all of the traveling. He said no, and my wife probably had something to do with it, as she constantly told him she was afraid of him flying. I spoke to both of them and said this girl is great for him. She was willing to move over to our country too, but said there was one condition and that he'd have to fly over to her country too, which is fair enough. He said no. He didn't want to fly or travel anywhere. My son was becoming lazier and eventually told his girlfriend that, and eventually telling his girlfriend and us that he was perfectly fine and never traveling anywhere, including holidays. Last week, he told us she's dumping him. I went on her Facebook page as we're still friends. She wrote us all an apology letter about how she's upset it didn't work out, but these things happen, so we're all on good terms. And it looks like she's with a new guy already. Me and my wife have no doubt she was seeing him while still in a relationship with my son. I confessed to them both that I actually agree with her decision and he should have expected it. He did not treat her properly, and I hope he learns lessons for the next one because he needs to make more of an effort. I said he deserves it for his lack of effort in the relationship and for essentially allowing this girl to spend all her money and time coming here all the time. Wife and son are very upset that I said that, very upset, and my wife says I'm being horrible. Am I the asshole? I stand by what I said. Honestly, I feel like this guy needs an award. Like the fact that he's really breaking it down for his son and just being like, this is unacceptable. What did you expect? No quality human being is going to want to be with you if you're not willing to put in the effort. This is a deal breaker. And she even said, this is my condition. You have to fly over to her country too. And now I would be interested to know what countries are they in and how old is the son? How old was the girlfriend? Because I think that will give us a little bit more perspective. But with the information that I have, I don't think you're an asshole for telling your son that he deserved to have his girlfriend break up with him. This is the thing, especially for women. We put in a lot of effort into relationships a lot of time and a lot of emotional effort as well, emotional labor. We talk about emotional labor all of the time. It sounds like not only was she doing all the emotional effort over here, but she was also doing all the monetary effort, all the time effort, all the literal flying across the country to be with him effort. She should have left him probably a while ago. The second that you've spent months and months seeing a person and they never come see you other with literally no reason as far as we know from this post other than you're lazy and you don't want to. That's a deal breaker. That should be a deal breaker pretty much immediately. So I don't think even with her like immediately getting into a new relationship, sure, that's shady, but also you're still not an asshole for saying that your son deserved getting broken up with. So yeah, if anything, I think that he needs to hear that, and I think he also needs a wake-up call of what do you expect? If you want to be in a relationship, you need to be putting forth effort. You need to be going halfway. You need to be doing like the same level of effort that this other person is doing. And so I feel like this person, this parent, never said whether he's a dad or a mom or a he or a she, but this person I think was doing their son a solid service. So hopefully he listens, but I want to see if there's any other updates. Okay, so the most top voted comment is not the asshole. That's the truth. What age is he? Edit. You say he's 24 in another comment. Okay. So he's 24. 24, you're what, 2, 3 years out of college? If you went to college, you should be working at this point. You should have your own money. You should be prioritizing your girlfriend if you want to stay with your girlfriend. So this person says, definitely not the asshole. If he is this lazy and has no plans to travel, what's his plan for leaving the house? Living with his parents is a great way to save money, but he doesn't seem the type so far to actually get up and get out eventually. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly think the fact that she was dating somebody else is irrelevant to the question of whether or not the dad is an asshole or the parent is an asshole. I would honestly, somebody else said 24, I was honestly expecting a teenager and he would have still deserved it. This will sound terrible and I almost feel bad bringing it up, but it sounds like your wife has a lot to do with his current behavior and attitude with the situation. I'm glad you told the truth. 100% not the asshole. That's so true. I didn't even think about that. It does sound like his wife is enabling the son because it's almost a little bit of like my baby deserves better. She cheated on him, blah, 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 blah. He was putting in forth no effort. And that's the issue. It's so frustrating hearing a mom enable their son to not take care of their girlfriend, not want to put in effort. And like, that's really problematic. Somebody else said, and I want to talk about this because it's talking more about the enabling situation is I hope you can talk to your wife after all of this is resolved about her enabling. I have an enabling mom and it has really caused me some issues. I love my mom dearly, but she still shows enabling behavior to this day. And it's the prime reason I have to limit the amount of time my daughter spends with her. I was never really held accountable for a single thing in my life, racking up debt as a teen, getting involved with drugs, etc. I would never, let me be very clear, never blame her for my poor choices. Those were mine and I'm responsible for them. However, when nothing changes, I knew in the back of my mind, no matter what I did, my mom would fix it. Now she does it with my daughter. My daughter acts out like nothing have ever seen at my mom's. And instead of giving her a consequence, my mom makes excuses. She's just tired, or maybe she's not feeling well. Then, in order to stop the acting out, my mom will offer things that are treated as rewards at my house. Things like playing a game on her phone, and then she wonders why she acts out. Why wouldn't she? She can act a fool and still be rewarded. I explain this over and over, but it seems enabling is in her DNA. That is why it's important for you to step in and be the voice of reason and accountability. Even if your wife continues to baby him, you cannot counter that as best, or you can counter that as best as you can by being involved and talking to him about alternatives. Sorry this got so long. I just don't want to see another kid growing up this way. Yeah, no, I think that commenter really nailed it. The enabling situation, I think it's pretty bad as well. And they need to have an honest conversation about what kind of a son they want to raise and how he's going to treat women. Yeah. Somebody else says, sounds like he's mommy's little poopsie. Oh, I love Reddit. Yeah. Yeah, this is just the issue is like we need to be focusing on raising people who want to take care of other people. And especially there's like I always see on TikTok people who are like I'm raising my son to cook dinner so that my future daughters or my future son-in-laws don't have to be the one who are sharing the entire emotional burden or nurturing burden. That is our responsibility as parents. I say our, even though I'm not a parent, but yeah, I think overall, the overall vote was not the asshole, and I'm going to have to agree with that. And then just thinking about the monetary, assuming this woman is also the same age as him, she's spending a lot of money going to see this person, and he's not reciprocating any of it. And you all know that the earlier you start investing in the stock market, the more money you're going to make. And she could be spending this money on investing in her Roth IRA, depending on what countries she's in. So, of course, I got to beat the money spent with it. So that was interesting. It did have a money twist. I think we can all agree that that was money related because it's, again, putting in effort, putting in monetary effort, putting in time effort, putting in emotional labor. Those are all absolutely related to money. And again, That girl needs to be investing. I hope she's also investing in her future instead of just investing in this man. All right, friends, we got, let's see, how long is this one? Okay, so we've got another one. This one has 50,000 upvotes. And if you're new to Reddit or you're not on Reddit, that just means it's like an Instagram like. It's like to push things out there so that people can see it. And this one has more information, including genders and ages. So, am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance/college money? Context. My sister, female 27, and I, 18 female, lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. Mom was never in mine or my sister's life. Dad left money for me and my sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother in law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for college tuition. I've always wanted to be a doctor, but I haven't decided which branch yet. Sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about my dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral, only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother in law's condition. He's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and in need for a surgery. He brought up my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation. She then straight up asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery. And she'd back pay in less than a year. I felt uneasy because if I give her money from my inheritance, which is a large amount, then there's no guarantee she'll pay back before it's time to apply for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help, and she had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless, cruel with no empathy. She said that her husband's health should be a priority, and I needed to help because education is nothing compared to someone's health, and asked if I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I argued that her husband's poor health isn't my fault after she kept blaming and guilt tripping me. She kept crying, and although my aunt decided to stay out of it, she said that I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending texts and pictures of the family telling me this is what I'm saying no to a happy, healthy family with healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish and not a good aunt or sister. I asked my friend, and he said let them sell the cars and all the luxurious stuff they bought to afford the surgery, and warned me if I give them money, I will never get it back and I may not be able to go to medical school. Oh my gosh, you poor thing. You literally lost your dad a year ago. And here your much older sister, 9 years older, your sister's almost 27. She's got a whole ass husband and child, is guilt tripping you into using or stealing essentially the inheritance that your dad left you. Your dad left it to you. If he had wanted your sister to get more money to cover her husband's medical bills, he would have done that. He would have set it up. She exactly nailed it in the last paragraph. If she is so hard up for money, she can sell the cars, she can sell the luxury goods, she can do a freaking GoFundMe. But it sounds like this has been a problem in the past if the rest of the family has cut her off. So 18-year-old female original poster, you are not the asshole. This is bullshit. This is terrible. And your friend who told you, like, do not give that money to them, you will not get it back, is so true. You keep it, you distance yourself from that sister, because the way that she's trying to manipulate you into giving her money is absolute bullshit, especially if she has assets that she can sell to cover the surgery of her husband. And on top of it, on top of everything else, he is not your responsibility. You didn't mention how old her husband is or what he does for a living or anything along those lines, but she married him knowing this. She decided to do that. That was fully her choice. I don't know when she got married, but clearly you said she got into a relationship with a chronically ill husband. This is something that's been going on for who knows how long. You did not choose to marry this man. This is not your husband. He made a scene at your dad's funeral. If I were you, I would probably cut them off as well. It sucks because you wouldn't be able to see your nephew, and your nephew probably needs a positive presence in his life. I think you're going to need some really heavy boundaries if you do want to continue keeping your sister in your life. But absolutely, you are not the asshole. This is so awful. I feel so bad for this person. The fact that, like, your sister almost sounds like she's been brainwashed by her husband, but the husband, you're not responsible for him. Your family is not responsible for him. Of course, if you could help out, if you had extra money, if you were in a position, but you are 18 years old. She's 27. I don't know how old her husband is. This is not your responsibility. This is not your burden. It's okay if you permanently damage the relationship with your sister to stand by those boundaries. Ugh. I am so sorry that this is happening to you. Okay, so I want to read some of the comments to see what folks are saying. All right. Da-da-da-da. Your friend is correct. You'll never get the money back because sis isn't willing to give up her luxurious lifestyle. She chose how to spend her inheritance, didn't save for a rainy day, and isn't entitled to yours because of her poor financial planning. You are not the asshole. And then the OP respondent says, I'm not sure whether they still have anything of value because I remember my aunt talking about my sister selling her car in May. Again, that is not your problem. That is absolutely not your problem. Something else somebody said, absolutely. She knew her husband was in poor health. The wise thing to do would have put the money aside instead of buying luxuries that depreciate. She can't know how much you have, right? If you feel like it, donate a small sum you can manage to lose and tell her that you lost all of it in bad investments to get her off your back and keep the relationship with her. But honestly, she's not entitled to anything you have. The manipulation is awful and you deserve to have your dreams. Do you really need them in your life, OP? Great question. Ugh, this makes me so mad for you. Not the asshole. Why should his surgery trump OP's education? It shouldn't. Sister spent her inheritance money on unwisely and now is stuck. She can start a GoFundMe so that's all the people calling OP an asshole can show her how concerned they are by donating. Exactly. Oh, you have just been put in a terrible situation, and this is terrible that it's happening to you by family. Money will really mess people up. It messes families up as well. But yes, here's another one that's highlighted and has been awarded. So I want to see this. It says, not the asshole. Your sister is manipulating you. She received the same money you did. If her husband is chronically ill, then they should have saved their money for his care instead of spending it on luxury items. She probably always planned to spend her money and then yours. Will refusing to give her the money damage your relationship with her? Probably. But do you really want to give up your future to preserve the relationship you have with her now? Because it sounds like a terrible one. And don't think you giving her this money will improve the relationship at all. That's the thing, is like, even if you did decide to give the money to them, that think of the resentment that will build because you gave up your dreams. You gave up the money your dad gave you for her issues. That resentment's going to build and it's going to ruin your relationship anyway. So at least this way you are protecting your life. You are taking responsibility for your life by making sure you don't give her that money. So overall, everybody's on point talking about how she is not the asshole. Damn. I'm so sorry. This is terrible. So I do hope that you figured out. You didn't mention whether or not it was like a life-threatening surgery, if it was something along those lines. Gosh. Okay, friends. Let's do one more and we will see what happens. All right. This one has 63.5 thousand of votes. Am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? This is hilarious already. I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but he's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. Like, how sad. So you have to be the grown ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kids. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how he didn't have the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was just like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad. "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. This is hilarious. More people need to do this. The angry guy started to backtrack. "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves in the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting. And we've done it a couple of times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time, the person who had come in angry will apologize and say they didn't mean it. It's satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let somebody go away thinking they'd gotten somebody who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke? This is brilliant. I love this. Okay, is it ethical? Maybe not. It may not be ethical. But is it a taste of their own medicine? Absolutely. What a great way to deal with the ridiculous customers who are unrealistic in their expectations, who are entitled, who are freaking angry. Unless you like actually messed up, and even if you actually messed up, there is no reason ever for somebody walking to a coffee shop to freak out over anything, even if you got the wrong order, even if the coffee's not hot enough. I cannot think of a single reason that someone should ever go into a coffee shop and lose their shit over something that would require a level of intensity that would get somebody fired. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot see any reason to be an asshole in a coffee shop. I'm trying to think of even some of the stuff that I've seen. Like, I know people blow their lids on stuff all the time, but I think this is genius. I love this idea. Oh, I guess you got him fired. You got what you want, Karen. Sorry to all the Karens out there who are nice people, but you know who I'm talking about. Let's read the comments. Not the asshole. That's a perfect way of dealing with hostile customers. Edit. "Oh my gosh, thank you for the silver." Edit 2. "Gold, you are too kind." Agreed. When the hostile customers try to backtrack, that's what makes it worth it. OP's tactic hopefully teaches them to stop complaining to service workers about things out of their control. That's the thing too, is like, we have to remember service workers have been working through pandemics, through just insane things like supply chain issues, not being able to get the ingredients that they need, constantly having like things go wrong in restaurants. The fact that like people go in there and just lose their shit on people, I do hope it makes them pause and think, no, the customer isn't always right. Are you happy you just got someone fired? So I love it. Let me see if there's any of these. "Absolute fucking power move," said somebody else. "Not the asshole. I think it's hilarious and maybe it'll teach some people a lesson about controlling their assholery." Somebody said, "OP is a legend." "You're not the asshole at all. You're the hero retailers need." Brilliant. Oh, this is so funny. I think this is hilarious and I love it. So anyway, I like it. Is it ethical? Probably not. But to me, it seems like a relatively harmless prank. It is just making people like take a second to realize, wow, I'm being ridiculous with this complaint. I need to calm the F down. Too funny. I love that. People are freaking savages. Oh, you know what? Let's do one more. These are cracking me up. Okay. Ooh, this is a long one. Strap in, friends. Am I the asshole for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard? I'll try to keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala four-door that I bought in February 2019. A couple months ago, I bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis in another, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis and the whole time has hated the car. Just for the record, this was posted 2 years ago. So crisis, AKA the pandemic. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under shady trees, or hell, even in the barn if it has to be inside. I tell her, tough luck, it's my house and it's not like I can just throw it back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple of days on a business trip for the small local company I work for. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles, making me food all the time, doing all the chores, all that. I thought maybe she was just happy to have me home, but then I realized I didn't see her car in its usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I can make sure I mow that area and keep it clean. And she said not to worry about it because she parked in the garage. I asked her how, and she told me to go check it out. Turns out that while I was gone, she hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, body, the chassis, and all parts, and take it to the local dump and scrap yard. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11,000 in the car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that, and she brushed me off like I was being dramatic. I told her that it's done between us and to pack her things and leave. I admit I was really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer, and as I have all the receipts for all the money I spent on, I have her on my house's security cam footage, letting the guys in and watching them taking it all. I think I can win. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing me up, saying it's just a stupid old piece of junk and that she cannot pay back all that money I spent and that I should just let it go. But I have been putting all of my time, effort, and money into that car for 1.5 years now. And god damn it, if I'm not going to get justice for what she did, am I the asshole? Holy shit, I cannot believe. Did he say how old he is? Because this seems like some really young people bullshit. Not him. I don't think that he's bullshit. Does he say how old he is? No. Okay, there are updates, so I will share updates after I give my opinion, but this is insane. I'm trying to think of something like what is like prized collection of records or somebody freaking car. $11,000 in 1.5 years of your time, and she just decided to up and move it so she could park in the freaking garage. Are you kidding me? This is some serious bullshit. So no, you are not the asshole. That's theft. That's like straight up theft. That's not okay. Oh my gosh, I would be insanely furious. And the fact too is she doesn't respect you. She clearly doesn't respect you if she decided to make this move while you were out of town. That's the other like layer of like total malice, is that she did this while you were out of town. Oh, what a nasty human being. Oh, not the asshole, not the asshole. I am very glad you got done with her. I hope you stayed done with her. So let's look at the edits, and also overall vote on this is not the asshole. Obviously, there's no way this person was an asshole. Okay, edit. Thank you all so much for the support and awards and everything. I'm glad I have some people on my side. I got a call from her mom about 20 minutes ago, and she told me that I was ruining her daughter's life over a stupid car. I told her she ruined her own life. I've been gathering documentation and stuff, and I'm about to head down to the police station and file a report as suggested by a lot of folks here. Once again, thank you all. Yeah, it is theft. It's literally a crime. I'm glad somebody told him to do that. Reddit is the one telling him to do that. Update, went to the police station last night, was told to come back in the morning, just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny and grand theft auto. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and the footage of her letting the guys come and take it, as well as the title for the vehicle in my name. They said they will be in contact with all 3 parties, me, ex-girlfriend, and the junkyard guys soon, and hopefully they will be able to recover some or all of the car. Now I just have to wait. Huge update. They found my goddamn car. The junkyard guides apparently were in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask them questions. It was on a forklift, and they were just going to put it on a pile on top of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They said it was theirs and that they had the title, but obviously they didn't have the title for it. And since they matched the VIN on the chassis and the body to the VIN on my title, it was obviously mine. Wow, good work, police officers. Talk about in the nick of time. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage I talked about earlier, but I don't know if it was the boss or whomever or even his specific charge. They also told me that they would be looking into the specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. They said they haven't haven't been able to get in contact with my ex just yet, but they're working on it. I'm just so glad they found my car. Luckily, I made quite an album of pictures detailing me tearing down the car, so I can use that to prove what parts they had that were mine, so I can hopefully get most or all of it back. Police haven't let me take it back home yet, as they say it's evidence or something, so hopefully I can get it back eventually. Thank you all for this support and advice. She's gonna be all right. I'm really glad that it all worked out for him, but that woman who his girlfriend, that's insane. It sounds like I don't know if he's still suing her or not. Sounds like he's just filing charges. But let's look at the comments. Not the asshole. Sue her ass. Sue her for the cost plus a few extra thousand for the time and money. Having her prosecuted for theft, destruction of private property, and have the guys that came to get it prosecuted for receiving stolen goods, nail them all to the. He says the OP responded to that and says, I can't blame the guys that came and got it. She told them it was her dad's and he had lost the title for it and wanted it gone, and they believed her, so it's not their fault they got lied to. Yeah, but they were trying to hide it. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like they didn't know. As a junkyard, I would assume, like, as a pickup junkyard guy, you would have to do your due diligence to make sure that you're not, like, literally committing theft. I don't know. You would never do this to a significant other. If you really loved somebody, you would never freaking do this to someone. Clearly, she knew how important it was to him. Let's see it. Not the asshole. How would you have the nerve to do something like that to somebody's home or in someone's home? She isn't even your wife. She went too far, and I say you dodged a bullet. He said, I wouldn't say, the OP responded, I said, I wouldn't say I dodged a bullet, more like it hit me in the shoulder instead of the heart. It hurts, but could be a lot worse. So he's saying basically, no, she still got me. She clearly got him. I'm so sorry. He dodged a bullet and then he didn't marry her. And then one more, not the asshole. Holy shit, definitely not the asshole. That's like your girlfriend selling a dog out from under you while you are in the business trip because she didn't like it. That's so true. That's a good comparison. The audacity. If she didn't like it, she could have just ignored it. The most toxic part is that she sees no issue. Your property, your house, she throws it away. And if any judge knows the worth of that car, they would understand suing her for all the costs, let alone the time you spent on it. That's a hobby and a damn good one. If she couldn't support you or your project, that probably would have been a red flag or for anything you do later on. I think all of this is justified. Oh, I completely agree. That's just like the lack of respect you have for the person in order to do that is just astounding. Astounding. It's literally criminal. Oh, I'm glad he got it back. I'm glad they were able to figure it out. I'm glad he was able to press charges. I'm curious. What happened to her. But damn. Oh, that's so mean. I just don't know why you would do that to somebody, to park your car somewhere. Freaking insane. Let me know what you guys thought by going to the Money Bear on IG. You can comment on this episode's reel or DM me to let me know what you thought. Or my favorite way, you can leave a rating, a review. Those always help us out a lot. So if you enjoyed this episode, let me know, because if this is the kind of stuff you want to see more of, let me know in the comments, let me know in the reviews, because I would like to give you guys what you want. I enjoy these episodes. These are honestly my favorite episodes. This is only the second Reddit episode, but they're entertaining as hell for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. As always, since we're talking about money, please remember nothing on the show is meant to be taken as financial advice. And if you made it this far and you're ready to get your own money right, all that good stuff, check out the links in the show notes. I've got you covered with a free guide and a free investing class. So that's all we got this week. I will see you all next week. Thanks for being here. Bye.